Hi, you guys. So, like I said, I wanted to come back and to touch on this whole expeditiously interview between Ti and Kevin Samuels. I believe Ti was saying that he did not upload this interview at whatever time he interviewed him. So I don't know how old this interview is, but the rhetoric is the same, right? It's the same rhetoric that he's always spewing for the most part, because Ti was talking about. It sounds as if it might have been around the time when he went viral, because he was talking about some of the stuff that kind of went viral. The fact that he was, talking about looks, and he used this whole European um, beauty standard definition of what beauty is to him. Okay. And that's the thing. When you're listening to these people talk, they don't realize how they come off. This is what you feel. This is how you think. And Ti is sitting there entertaining him and whatever. Maybe that's why he decided not to upload it. He kind of recognized that it was just a lot of stuff that probably something that he didn't really want to co-sign on at the time. But now that the man is gone, everyone's feeling away, I guess. Some people, everybody's not feeling the same about the situation, because we are not all the same, and so people shouldn't expect the same outlook on these situations, regardless if it's a man or a woman, right? Even though they're trying to paint Black women, celebrating this moment or all this nonsense, it's not celebrating anything. It's about the truth of the matter, right? You sitting out here calling people Big Shirley, but you gone before Big Shirley. You got up out of here before Big Shirley got up out of here. Okay, so people should mind take care of their own health. And I just got through saying that in somebody's comments last night, because they're still talking nonsense. And it's like, yeah, but she's still here. Okay, she's still here, and he not. And so let's not overlook that fact. Let's not act like we know what we're talking about when we don't. Just because he was smaller than her, and there is this language around people being a certain size in this country, because in other parts of the world that is not true. People do not define beauty the way certain people are trying to act, as if that's some worldwide definition. No, that is your definition. And like I said about everything else that I was just when I said all this stuff is man-made, like this is your opinion. This is your personal opinion based on the foolishness you have been conditioned to believe. Okay, as a Black person in this country, you have been conditioned to believe all the stuff you believe. They still trying to fight, scratch and fight, keep from teaching your history in this country. So don't get me started. Okay, so that's why you don't recognize the beauty in yourself, because you have not been taught to see the beauty in yourself. So go make a damn video about that. Anyway, I think Ti recognized that this was foolishness, and that's why he didn't run it. It seemed like he kept trying to call Tiny into the room, and she never appeared in this discussion. But some other lady appeared in the discussion, a non-Black lady. But even she was, trying to kick some truth. Like this don't make sense. Like the stuff that you're saying, you could be spending the time that you're online with these people, having constructive conversations, right? Not even about relationships, just about life. Because, like I said, all of the stuff that he was making fun of, he was living it himself. So anyway, his funeral was today as well. And I just kind of wanted, I'm not going to play, I don't have the video anyway, but someone else has the video. I guess it was today, or they just uploaded it today. Um, there's some pictures in here of his child and wife. Let me see if I can. And so, yeah, like I was saying yesterday or the day before, his daughter is well into her 30s. This is not a child. The way people were pushing this picture around that he has some young daughter, he don't. His show his family, his parents in here too. Yeah, I see. This is the wife and the baby. Yeah, so I don't know who that one man was in the picture in the uniform. I don't know if that was somebody related to him or what was going on with that. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and just kind of say that, like, that interview, Ti really could have just kept it, but I guess since he was holding it, he just went on and played it, because they insult, which they've been doing, not just him, some other guys on here as well. Um, Lizzo, he's holding his whole nonsense, saying all this nonsense about her size and stuff. And Lizzo is 20 something years old. Like, you're 56 years old. Why are you talking about somebody that's not even in you will never. So you don't need to worry about these people's size. You don't need to worry about this young lady's size. And why would you sit there and disrespect this young woman like that, who's younger than your own child? You understand? Like, she's young enough to be his grandfather. I mean, to be his granddaughter. So, I'm sorry, I can't get behind none of that, and I don't condone that type of behavior. Like, I'm sorry, and I don't care if the dead alive, whatever. I'm not. How, like we keep saying, how you want to be remembered is how you should live. You can't sit out here act nasty towards people and then think everybody's supposed to be out here turning into Auntie Wanda about it. Um, Now people can, like I said, it's a lot of people that see themselves in him because they feel a way about things that they have not never cleared up, right? That they don't understand, right? And so this is, what it is. To me, this is my opinion. Like, these guys that's running, talking about he the Godfather and all this nonsense, they see themselves in this guy because that's all they have is to put somebody down to make themselves feel better. And apparently, whether you have money or not, right, you need to do this in order to feel good about yourself. Um, the other thing that I thought was interesting or kind of funny for me was because he brought up the stats. He started saying that he got his information from Black demographics. Now, when I was making videos about him, I was pulling stats to show that the stuff that he was saying was not true. Like, the numbers that he was giving. First of all, Black people are under 12% of America's population. We cannot outnumber anybody and anything. The media plays up certain things the way they play it up because they can. They control what you see. People shouldn't have to really keep breaking that down to people because people should really understand that. You should have picked up on that as a child coming up in the school system in this country. Like, you should really have picked up what's going on around you, right? Like, I really shouldn't have to say that, but he was playing on the fact that, like I said, he was playing on stereotypes and all this nonsense that play out in the media, right? It's just like the whole Chicago thing. People say a whole lot of stuff about Chicago, but then, when you talk to people who live in Chicago, some of this stuff is being sensationalized. It's being sensationalized because that's what people want people to believe about our community. And I said what I said on that, and I don't care who don't like it. We do not control the way the images are go out in this country. Social media and this internet gives people a little bit more of a reach to people than was ever put out here before. Kevin Samuels did not grow up with this, and he actually says that in this video as well, the one with because he kind of makes fun of people today or whatever he says about this whole social media generation. When he got the opportunity to do that, look at the stuff that he decided to deliver to them. A bunch of nonsense and lies, right? And like I said, I was pulling a lot of stuff off of Black demographics, so I was tickled when he was saying that that's where he get his stats from, because he got that from probably myself and some of these other YouTubers. And Kevin Samuels was aware of me because his ass put a strike on my page, so I ain't nobody try to clout chase for him. I could care less. Okay, now he wasn't no damn body to me like that for me to even have to worry about using his name, but he was getting that, saying he got stats from Black demographics from myself and from other people who were pulling stats like PBM. He was pulling stats as well, and kind of just showing people like the stuff that he's saying is not true. Like Black women can't outnumber a 70% of women in this country when we're less than 7% of Americans. It just don't make sense. Like the stuff that people are saying. Now, if you're saying something that's culturally going on, like as far as marriage, as far as yeah, and a lot of that it plays that it, that play of what plays into that is poverty. Like people don't want to get married because they don't have anything to admit. A lot of these men don't have anything to offer a woman, and so they're not looking to get married. They out here trying to struggle to eat off of these women. But he didn't ever talk about that. He didn't talk about all the men that are living off of Black women. Did he ever tell y'all about that? No, but those stats are out here too. But he never told y'all about that. That a lot of Black women take care of husbands that don't make as much money as them. But he wasn't quick to tell y'all that. But he want to start bringing up "Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent." And like, how old is that song? That's how you knew his ass was. That's how you knew his ass was old. Like he up bringing up the song "Ain't Nothing Going On but the Rent" by Gwen Guthrie in this interview. I'm gonna play you guys a few minutes of it, but I'm sure Ti has a page. I think he has an Expeditiously podcast YouTube page. If you want to watch the full thing, some of it is it's just rude, like the stuff they were saying about Lizzo. I don't want to get off into that. And then he started trying to say stuff about Pam Grier. Um, and then the white lady comes out, one of Ti's friends, and like I said, they will never open their mouth and be disrespectful to some people, right? But they will open their mouth, and even though she was challenging him, right? She was challenging him, but the way if a Black woman challenged him, then he want to cuss you out and click you off, just really sensationalize the whole live, right? But she's challenging him, and he's sitting there kikiing, right? So I just thought the whole thing was funny, and it speaks volumes to what all of us were trying to say in the first place. So I don't even know why he put the interview up. I guess in his own way, he thinks that he's paying tribute to him by doing that, but it just reinforces all of the things that people were saying. And like I said, I'm kind of weirded by his funeral having all this Blackness, all this gospel music going, but you had all this hate for Black people, in particular Black women. But some some Black woman singing at your funeral, right? So make it make sense. Like, and that was always my thing. Like, if you claim you're not into Black women and that's not what you want to do, and you don't think people with money should do that, should be marrying another Black person or whatever it is, then why don't you talk to the people that you want to talk to? Why don't you talk about the people that you're so into? Why don't you have these people at your funeral singing and hollering and carrying on for you? Oh, they wouldn't show up? They didn't show up for it? Oh, okay. So, yeah, so miss me with the nonsense. Like, people should live how they want to be remembered. Whoever said that, they are right. Okay, and I don't recall who just said that, but the person is right. You should live how you want to be remembered. You shouldn't expect people to lie for you. You shouldn't expect people to now create some person that you were not. When all these videos and TikTok videos and all kind of stuff is out here of you acting really nasty and disgusting towards women that look just like you, that look just like your mama. So that's how you go out. I'm not going to do anything else but tell the truth about that situation. So if people were clicking on this video to see anything else, you can click off. Um, like I said, thought that this interview that Ti was doing, yeah, I can see why he didn't play this, because he goes into this beauty standard nonsense about, which is a European thing that he's saying about the way the face is structured. Who All of this stuff is man-made, right? Obviously, people who feel superior to other people are going to create all of this stuff and make themselves the focal point of it, right? They're not going to say that some other woman is the most beautiful woman in the world. They're going to make that woman look like themselves, and they have the ability to make that, put it on in print, spread it around the world, and make it what it is. And you are dumb enough to fall into it, believe it, and run it like you saying something. And that is that part for me. And you're 56 years old and you don't know better than that. But let me let you guys listen to a few minutes of what they were saying.
But the thing is, and to act like this doesn't exist, it's real. So the facial thing is based upon.
You can fix your butt, you can fix your face, you can't fix them feet. You cannot fix them feet. You got what God gave you, and that's all you gonna have till you leave here.
And the thing with the face, it's you think about people always has the most attractive man, attractive woman. I try to use in the back in the day. I used people that weren't current, so it wouldn't be so volatile. So I would say like Pam Grier.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing body.
Mm-hmm.
It was a dress size 8, by the way, with all them curves. 8.
Still fine.
And I said, her, I said she's an 8. There are brothers who have knocked me down, say, no, she's a 10. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not judging everything. It's just at a 2 points: the face and then the body part, and then
the face and the body part. What body part?
The body is body. In order to rank high, you need to have a fitness component. So you can see I have a woman with an attractive face, but if her body's not attractive or it's out of shape or needs.
But what, like, let's just say like Lizzo. Lizzo, she's a plus size woman, but she has a beautiful face. She's talented. She's smart. She's, you know what I'm saying. She's
the fact that we gotta
charismatic.
And the fact that we gotta say all that matters.
What you mean?
We don't do all that.
But she got such a beautiful personality. But
we don't judge personality on Miss America until we get to the questions.
Now, are you looking for Miss America, or are you looking for a partner? So you see how he's taking conversations and confusing the conversation with nonsense. So now you're marrying someone that has to be a part of the Miss America pageant. And how many men are truly going to marry some woman that was in a Miss America or Miss USA pageant, regardless of race? You see, the whole conversation is stupid at the core of it. And then people out here talking about he telling the truth about what, though? What was he telling the truth about? He didn't use stats, and then he sit up here lying, talking about he was using black demographics. He really wasn't. He picked that up from people who were pointing out the fact that he was using, where everybody started saying, well, where is he getting these stats from? Because the stuff that he's saying don't make sense. And I kept saying, he's using stereotypes, because in this country, the only black men that y'all see that's visible are athletes, actors, politicians. You do not see black men who are living every day today, and you really don't even see the ones in business, in medicine, or law either. You really don't see them. So y'all don't know who they married to. Y'all don't know who these men is married to. Y'all are sitting here talking about a high value man. And by the way, T.I., since we're talking about high value men, half of y'all degenerates. And since we telling the truth, and we telling the brutal truth, don't get mad. Okay, just take it for what it is. Half of y'all degenerates with money. You got money, and your ass is going in and out of prison. Okay, you're out here making all kind of babies that don't know you. They don't have the right type of relationship with you. You're not setting a good example for them. But then you're sitting here calling yourself a high value man. A high value man based on what? Just simply because you have money in the bank, and then half of y'all can't even keep the money that you do get anyway. So that's a whole nother video. So please, like, no, the stuff that he said is nonsense because value should not be placed on on just on somebody's looks and how much money they have in the bank. I was really trying to get to the point where he was saying, "Ain't nothing going on but the rent." Oh, but ain't nothing going. Remember that they can go out here and make these songs. Somebody ain't nothing going on but the rent. Like men have never said things about women, right? Like men have never made songs that were just in bad taste, right? Especially today. I mean, that's all they do today. I mean, everything is about a bunch of nothing. At least before we had we had so much music that was about real life and about real feelings, right? That told real stories and really spoke to our stories. This stuff today, I don't know who they talking about. I don't know whose culture this is supposed to be because it's not black. It's not the African American culture I grew up in, and it's a lot of kind of blacks out here now. So I don't know. It could be some of these other kind of blacks, but that ain't my black. This stuff today is not my black. I didn't grow up like this, and the sad part is Kevin Samuels didn't either. From looking at this family role and the fact that his family chose to do that says something to me. Okay. So yeah, he didn't even grow up the nonsense that he out here talking. But y'all putting so much emphasis on somebody looking a certain way and not looking like you. Okay. And that is what value is. And the fact that you have money and these women need your money and all this nonsense gives you the right to say this stuff. And then Kevin Samuels didn't even have any of this money until he went viral. So it's nonsense. But I wanted to get to the part where he was talking. Here it is. I'm not even gonna go into all that because they started getting on this stuff about Lizzo and looks, and I just wanted you guys to hear that was a part of what he was saying. He started off talking about ain't nothing going on but the rent and how some woman put that out. And Gwen Guthrie put that song out back in, I believe that song came out in the 70s, right? So it kind of lets you know how long he's been holding on to his feelings behind that song. And the song was just a song. And at the end of the day, it's true. And then another thing that well, let me play this lady that he's talking to because I think she is the one that he's kind of saying all this stuff about the family structure. And this is why I say a lot of this stuff don't make sense. Y'all either want women who want men to that can build with them, or you either want women who need a man to take care of them. Okay. Y'all need to make up y'all mind what y'all trying to say. Because one minute you're going off because black women saying nothing going on but the rent. Well, a black woman wrote the song. I guess she was singing the song. I don't even know if she wrote it. Um, you're mad because this lady put this song out back in 1976 or 79. You're mad about that, but then you're gonna turn around and tell some girl that she is not your problem, that she went out and got pregnant by Pookie and Ray Ray, right? So and you don't deserve for nobody to pay you no attention because you was out here messing with a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Now in one breath you're telling women that, and if you are over 35, you're destined to be alone. You're over here telling women that because you should already have a husband by that time, right? That's what he says, which people could have been married and divorced by 35, two or three times, right? But who he's just basing one story on everybody's story, right? And I guess it's his story. Um, he goes into this whole thing about family structure with the white lady. I'm gonna let you guys listen to a little bit of what they were saying, and then I'm gonna put my video back on because my point is in the video.
We're just different. Now we have a world to where it's like, well, we're all the same and we're not the same. And we're trying to reimagine. There are people who want to reimagine how men and women should interact. Here's the problem. That sounds good in a laboratory, in a classroom, but in the world, people just won't accept it. Women want what they want, men want what they want. And here's the calculus that went missing for the longest. Women control access to reproduction and sex. Men control access to relationships. And if men control access to relationships because we're the pursuers, we ask for proposals, if the marital rates are declining, if relationships are dropping, it would be an unwise business to go chastise the customer for why they're not buying. You need to ask, what's wrong with my product?
Now, you said how much ladies hate when the roles are reversed.
Yes.
Now I want you to speak on that, but I want you to do it in the presence of my dear friend, respected, longtime colleague and constituent, Single Dina. Please come in.
Single Dina.
Single Dina, please come on. Welcome to Expeditiously. Welcome back to Expeditiously.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now,
So happy to be here.
Right on. We're so happy to have you. Now, you've had quite the time to research Mr. Kevin Samuel.
I have. It's been very interesting.
Because listen, so I put Single Dina up on your show, and I told her, I say, hey, find him. We need to sit down.
Okay.
And ever since then, she's been sending me excerpts.
Every night, I just get in my bed and I watch these videos.
And you watch this man in your bed.
Just tearing into women, just and left or right.
Tearing, but you're coming back. Are you a pain freak? Because if it was painful, you would have no reason to return.
It's interesting. It's a perspective that we don't hear often, and I feel like it's almost like, how you hear a lot about like women empowerment. It's like a new men empowerment kind of thing. He's speaking up for the men that don't necessarily get to say these things.
But is it the honesty? Is it that you relate to it? Is it that you agree with it? Is it that you so much disagree with it and you hate it? Like, what is it that keeps you coming back for more?
I think it's a mixture of all of it. I would say that I feel like we could be a little bit more, I've said this to you before, a little bit less harsh with our words and our direct. Yes, no, he could.
He could, but what would that accomplish if he?
Well, that's why people like it, because he gets down and dirty real fast.
Well, it's not down.
Why are you calling it down and dirty?
The words have been used.
Direct,
why can't it be up and honest?
Well,
you know
direct,
what I'm saying? Why can't it be up and honest?
Well, here's the thing: tear into women, harsh. What would we call? Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
Here we go again. Ain't nothing going on with the rent.
When most men lack the exposure to certain opportunities that would yield them the benefits to
like I don't want no scrubs,
such
right?
Standard.
I don't want. The thing is, and put a ring on it. Women have had the freedom to speak their minds directly, honestly, in film, in print, in media. For especially Black women, unopposed for the better part of 50 years.
I was gonna say not that long, because they were suppressed for a little bit.
Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right.
And this is what I
the
always say.
correcting of men all the time.
No, I was just saying, because women for so long did not
Sign
have a
language.
voice.
Sign
Black
language.
women have never been
Shame,
oppressed by Black
insults, guilt, and
I said
need
Black
to be
women.
right.
Black women have never had that problem with their men.
Women of color.
I mean, I'm specifically talking about Black women in this case, and that's here's the thing. When women say what they want to say about, I don't date a short man, you got little D energy. I mean, y'all got,
you can say it here, little dick energy.
Women are praised for saying it, but when I actually speak to women who volunteer to call into my show to ask me my advice or my opinion, then all of a sudden I'm being harsh.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
And you're a friend, and just welcome to the show anytime.
Thanks,
so yeah. Now this lady comes in at the end, just to keep people from putting strikes on somebody. Now that they know all about these strikes, child, like I said, I believe T.I. has a YouTube account, so he can go in there and ding people for using his stuff. I ain't got time for all of that. I just was gonna play the audio, because I'm gonna say what I want to say. I can cut, just like I told his ass when he did that shit to me the first. I'm talking about Kevin Samuel. I will come back, and I must come back and say what the hell I want to say, whether you over there putting strikes or not. Anyway, now you hear how calmly he is with this lady, right? So you can compose yourself when you're talking to non-Black women, but when you're talking to a Black woman, you can't. It's just impossible for you to have any form of patience with her. You have to show her, and use all this, this extra twain and, two snaps up, two snaps down type energy towards Black women. But, she was just like, well, no, because Black women were suppressed in this country, and we cannot sit here and pretend like they were powerhouses all this time, right? Or saying all this stuff in this music for all these years. And mind you, Kevin Samuels is 56, so he was 6 years old 50 years ago. And that's another part of my point. That's why I put those families that you see in this video that I had put together, because in this country, that's what he grew up seeing. He grew up seeing a family structure on TV, because Black people were not on TV like that. There was no cable. TV was black and white. This is what he grew up watching. This was not no 100 years ago, okay? So let's be clear. Let's draw into what I'm saying here. Kevin Samuels did not grow up seeing Black women talking about ain't nothing going on but the rent. Like I said, that song came out in the 70s. The song came out in the late 70s, okay? And Black women were not on TV and like that and all over the place like that. And everybody's family was about family structure. Every you hear your uncles and your fathers and grandfathers. Some of you guys are probably young enough. I would say your grandfathers, where you can go and ask them. Men had to get permission to go out with your daughter. Okay, that's how it was for everybody. Black, white, green, or purple in this country. There was a standard of living that everyone followed. Okay, the man was the head of the household. Most women, Black, white, green, or purple, did not work. Not only did Black women have to fight for equality, not only because as being a Black, but being a woman as well. And so did white women. There was a whole white woman movement, a whole feminist movement, okay? So let's be clear about that when we're saying stuff. Kevin Samuels grew up in hearing about family structure, okay? Just like I did, and I'm younger than him. So he grew up hearing about family structure, and he knows that. He knows that men were expected to head homes, to have jobs, to have careers, to take care of a wife and children, a fence, a house with a fence, and a dog. Okay? That was the quote unquote American dream, whether you was Black, white, green, or purple. So please miss me with that nonsense. Okay? Black women started speaking independently because they had to. They did not have a choice. Black women were hired more so than the Black man was going to get hired. Okay? Women were going to get hired, before they would hire a Black man for whatever reason. That's not for us. That's not our fault. That's not for us to explain. Go ask the person who was discriminating against your ass. And that's my point. All this energy that he gives Black women, he will not give that energy to the right people. And that was always a lot of our point on here. Like, don't sit out here and act like you don't know why there were breakdowns in Black families. Like, you don't know why Black women had to go out of the house and get jobs. Okay? Don't pretend like you don't get that. And no, those women didn't get a chance. They didn't get the opportunity to use racism as an excuse. They had to get off their ass and go and take care of themselves and their families. So yeah, then they can make a song called Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent. Okay? So let's not pretend like we don't know where these things come from. And that's what always was my point. Like, why is he not speaking on the realism of life instead of just using the NBA nonsense? You see Michael Jordan married to a non-Black woman, now you think you're saying something. You're not saying anything. And that shit don't have nothing to do with the Black community. And I said what I said. Because money that does not generate or get passed in our community is not doing nothing for our community. And you can go look at the stats on that. It's not doing nothing for our community. So, and I don't care what these men do, but stop sitting out here acting like you're saying something that's important for Black people when you're not. That shit is not important to Black people or Black life, Black existence, or Black equality. Okay, so miss me with that nonsense. The lady's not gonna turn Michael Jordan's money over to the Black community when his ass fall out. So miss me with that. Okay, let's keep it real. And if you're not gonna keep it real, then shut up. That was always the point. Like if you want to chase behind whoever, chase behind them, but why don't you keep your conversation on them? Why are you trying to use black women as some type of, and then she's sitting here talking about, oh, I go to bed every night watching him. And I told you guys that too. Like it wasn't nobody black watching Kevin Samuels. That's why he would go viral like that. How do you get over 1 million people watching you in less than a year, in several months time? Obviously most of those people that are watching you are not black. And why would black people sit there and co-sign somebody trying to belittle not only black women but black men as well? Because like I said, you calling somebody Pookie and Ray Ray. Who's Pookie and Ray Ray? Pookie and Ray Ray is somebody's son. Are they not? So yeah, I'm sorry. I just can't with the nonsense. And then people try to act like he was so special somewhere. No, he was special for entertainment, and I guess that's why the entertainment world is embracing him. He was a clown, and he was doing clown things, and I guess that's why y'all out here acting like you need to act like his name is going to go down for some. His name is not going to go down the way you think it's going to go down, because when people come along and they do see his story and they go and start researching the stuff that he was saying and looking at the facts to the stuff that he was saying against the stuff that he was saying, they're going to see that the stuff he was saying wasn't true. So people are going to tell the truth without being biased to the situation because they're not here or they're very young right now. So, the stuff that I don't know if his family is going to delete those videos or not. I don't know. People were speculating about that on other channels. Like, are they going to keep the channel up and let it continue to generate money, or are they going to take it down because of the some of that content? And some of it was, to my understanding, people were trying to get investigated anyway, like him promoting domestic violence. What did he call it? Domestic discipline or whatever it was called years ago. And I don't know if you guys remember Lucy, the show Lucy, and you would see Ricky Ricardo, her husband, spanking her on episodes of that show. And that's what I'm telling you guys. Kevin Samuels grew up in a certain time, and these shows like that, even though Lucy was on the air, and you probably could still find it on air, was on the air for decades and generations have watched it. But obviously it is against the law for men to put their hands on their wives. Okay. So for somebody to sit out on the YouTube and start and try to promote that type of behavior against women, in particular black women, is a disservice. Okay. And so a lot of that stuff needs to come down. And the people who had the petitions up, I don't blame them. I haven't seen the one, because I think someone put a petition up asking for his whole channel to come down. I don't know, how that's going or where YouTube is with that, because I think for YouTube, because they generate money as well from all these people who are generating money for them, they may, feel like, well, let's leave it up because it's making money, even though it's trash, even though the stuff he's saying is harmful, and it shouldn't be up. Some of it should not be up. Like the stuff that's not going into crazy stuff like that is one thing. But then some of those videos that he put up saying some of that crazy stuff need to come down. And then talking about the men had the little boys to sleep with and all that nonsense, that need to come down. And some of the other disturbing, like that video when he was telling that girl not to believe her child when she said the husband touched her, that needs to come down. It's some stuff that he put out here that needs to come down. you know, Kevin Samuels wasn't doing anything that was beneficial to the black community. Okay, if you're the type of black man that you out here worshiping and you a footstool and all that nonsense, that's you. Okay, that is you, and that is your story, and your story really ain't a black story anyway. So you need to keep that over there. Okay, you can keep Kevin Samuels over there with you. Um, Let me know what you guys think about with Ti's interview. If you saw the full interview, I'm not gonna sit here and play the full interview. I just thought the fact that he kept, you guys could hear that he brought up ain't nothing going on but the rain, but he brought it up twice even before that point, because that was the end of the video when he started talking to Ti's friend, the white lady. Um, but he brought that song up in the beginning of the video, and then he brought it up again towards the middle of the video. So he kept referencing ain't nothing going on but the rent. But yeah, men were the head. If you're trying to say you're the head of a household, then that makes you a provider. Okay, so what part of that don't make sense to ain't nothing going on with the rent? Okay, if a woman is out here and she has to do all these things for herself, then she needs somebody that's going to meet her halfway of at least where she is. Like, are you stupid? Like, what are we really talking about? What's the real conversation here? And I think that's what people constantly tried to challenge him on. What are you really saying? Because in one breath you're saying you're making fun of these girls for having children with Pookie and Ray Ray, but then on the other hand, you saying black women got the nerve to say they want a hot, you man, they want a man that can put them in a mansion and do this, that, and the other, or that can pay the rent. Because ain't nothing going on, but the rent was just about the rent. She said she just needs somebody to have a job. Okay, there was nothing about high value in that song. So I don't know why that song upset him so much. I kind of wish Ti would have asked him that. Like, why? What is it about that song that's triggering you? Because you couldn't pay the rent? Because your wife had to put you out because you couldn't pay the rent? Like, let's talk about it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And then they streamed. I don't know where they get the streaming of the funeral from, but several people were streaming it. And I don't know if that happened today or if it happened yesterday. I really don't know. Personally, don't care. I just thought it was interesting to see the gospel music and then the images of the black family, right? When he, just act as if that wasn't who he was and where he was really coming from, right? So I thought that was, like, yeah, people need to cut it out. They just need to cut it out at the end of the day. Uh, that's it, and that's all. I just wanted to say that because Ti put that video up, and I was just like, he probably could have cut all that nonsense about Lizzo, disrespecting people. It's not okay. Because if Lizzo decided to go live, me and Lizzo decided to go live and go to hell in on Ti, he would not like it. He would get online so fast. You can't even spell fast. That's how fast he would jump online and start going off if that girl sat there and started talking about him. Even though it wasn't him saying it, he still did not. He still should have cut that mess out. Like, stop trying to disrespect people. That young lady is minding her business, and she has a man. She's not dealing with the insecurities about life that you're dealing with. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Your story ain't my story, so please don't try to put that on me, and don't try to put that on other people. The nonsense you living in your head, don't put that on me, and don't put that on other folk that may not feel that way. There's no reason for her to walk through life and not feel good about herself. If you don't feel good about you, that's you. But yeah, like if I went live with her and she started bringing up Ti, trust to believe he would be live before we could even get offline good. Okay. Okay, so just how you want people to treat you, please treat them that way, and whether you're a celebrity or an everyday person, like, that's it and that's all. And that's the only thing that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think about the funeral, if you watched any of it. What was your opinions on it? And let me know what you think about this interview, if you saw any of Ti's interview with Kevin Samuels. Like I said, I don't know how old the video was. It sounded like it was kind of back when he went viral, but I don't know. Just based on some of the stuff that he was talking about, and he kept bringing up, ain't nothing going on but the rent. Yeah, ain't nothing going on but the rent. So I don't know why you have a problem with that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And the black community has to do better because we can't. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Right. And then, there was a time when we started to question, like, this rise and seeing all these attacks on black women. And if a lot of this nonsense that the black manosphere was spewing, if it was, a part of why we were seeing this rise in these attacks and stuff. And people, they could think stuff is funny and it's okay until it happens to your mother, until it happens to your daughter. And then all of a sudden, now everybody feels a different way. It was okay for Kevin Samuels to make fun of people's health and they calling people Big Shirley and stuff. But when his ass fell out, now everybody wanted to get sensitive. Oh, now we sensitive about people talking about people. See, Yeah, I agree, Bonnie, with you 100%. Like that's why people were trying to get him off of YouTube, because they felt like that energy that the black, it was just him, but he was the most popular. He became the most popular one out of all of them, that were doing that. And then some of those guys, to my understanding, they really are under investigation themselves for domestic violence and for other crimes against women, right? SA and other crimes. You guys know what SA is, against women, whether the women are black or whatever they are. It don't matter to me. I'm just saying, for you to promote that, um, because like I said before, however they treat black women is how they're gonna treat all women. They gaslighting these other women with the language, but at the end of the day, they're gonna treat you the same way. Because if you disrespect any woman, you're disrespectful towards women. You are disrespectful towards women. Let's call that what it is. And then they were. That's another thing that Ti brought up in this video. They were trying to create some word something that they said was misogyny towards men. Um, but they, of course, couldn't point to any of it. Saying that women hate men. I don't. Who hates men? What woman has told you that she hates men? And then there are women in this world who don't want a man, right? Like, we understand that. So all women are not out here looking for a husband anyway, right? And I think that's been a conversation already. So a lot of the stuff he was saying, it was just a lot of hot air just to blow around, and people were falling into it, I guess, because they found the way he was disrespecting people as comedy, right? Because I see on his TikTok, he has all these videos up talking about what we got here, Big Shirley. Like, why are you going around TikTok looking for Big Shirley? Like, if you're not into Big Shirley, clearly you get off on Big Shirley, because you definitely giving her all the attention, right? I mean, make it make sense. Why don't you? But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead on and go, because I got a couple more videos to make. I want to talk about Ermine Wiggins and Tasha K getting into it over this Amber Ali interview. So I'm going to come back with that. I'll see you guys in the next video.